And in this video, I'm going to go through question number 2 from the 2011 AP exam. So here we have a table of values again, and this time we have a pot of tea that's cooling, and the temperature is modeled by our differentiable function h. Um, okay, so they're giving us values of h of t, so temperature at selected values of time t. So for the first question, it says use the data in the table to approximate the rate at which the temperature of the tea is changing at time t equals 3.5. So here's what we have to know. Right here, they're saying the rate at which the temperature of the tea, is changing at this time. What that's talking about is an instantaneous rate of change, right? And I know that because it's talking about the change at a specific time. And we know the instantaneous rate of change is the derivative. So what they're asking us to do is to approximate h prime of 3.5. Now we don't have a function, so we can't find the exact value. So what we're going to use is the average rate of change to approximate the instantaneous rate of change. So I'm going to pick the two values that are closest on either side to 3.5. So that means I'm going to use h of 5 minus h of 2 all over 5 minus 2, and then just use the data in the table. So h of 5 is 52, h of 2 is 60 over 3. So I get negative 8 thirds, and then my units are going to be degrees Celsius per minute. And that's all we need to do there. And so that was 1 point on the AP exam. Now, for number 2, they're asking us to evaluate this integral and then using correct units to explain the meaning of that expression in the context of the problem. So let's see here. If I have the integral from 0 to 10 of h prime of t dt, we know that to evaluate an integral, the first thing we have to do is find the antiderivative of the function. Well, if my function is h prime of t, I know its antiderivative had to be the original function, h of t. And then we always put our plus c, and we're going to evaluate from 0 to 10. So in this case, what we have is h of 10 plus c, and then we're going to subtract h of 0 plus c. Here our c's are going to cancel out like they always do. And now for h of 10 and h of 0, I just can look at the table. So h of 10, we can see from the table, is 43 minus h of 0 is 66. And so we get negative 23. And in this case, our units would be degrees Celsius. So that's the first part, just evaluating it. Now we have to explain the meaning. So hopefully here, the units should give us a clue, right? We know our units have to do with temperature. So since we integrated the rate, right? We integrated the rate of change of the temperature. That integral is going to give us the change in temperature. So when we're talking about our explanation here, what we know is really the temperature changed by negative 23 degrees Celsius, or in other words, it decreased by 23 degrees over that period of time. So I would say the temperature of the tea decreased by 23 degrees Celsius over the time interval t equals 0 to t equals 10 minutes. And as far as scoring went, they gave 1 point for evaluating the integral and then 1 point for being able to correctly interpret the meaning. All right, that's it.